Hey, Ben, it's PJ. Dude, one reason why I love you and I love the show so much, you took the words right out of my mouth. Like, half the stuff I was going to say, you just said it, even referring to the Charleston shootings.
Mm.
You're amazing at that. You're prescient, I think that's what I'm looking for. But that's exactly why I called. I wanted to make a plea to anyone and everyone listening to the show live or in the future. There's going to be tons of discourse all over the place, tons of things to blame, tons of things to discuss, and I'm not at all saying that we shouldn't discuss them. Like you said, they're all important factors, and we need to have a conversation about all this because we can't keep having an anti-intellectual or a personally deluded society where we ignore things we don't like.
Right.
However, almost all of that is conjecture.
Right.
The one thing that is certain is the loss that we suffered of the LGBT, of the loss that they took.
Yeah.
The targeting, the purposeful targeting, and just like you said, the erasure cannot happen.
Yeah.
Because this is a community that has been marginalized from Jump Street, and even and last year's Supreme Court decision did not solve much of the hatred towards them.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Some people do. There is ire towards them out of ignorance for some part of the country, but most people just don't like them. You can look it up online. There are plenty of people who are happy that this happened, or who are not sad for the victims.
Unfortunately,
and it is maddening, and it's not troll. They're not trolls either. These are people that
really counts,
believe
man.
this. So
real accounts, people with followers, right? Not egg trolls. Like I'm just people on Facebook and people with real friends are expressing solidarity with this massacre because of the community it happened to, and then we have people trying to erase the fact that it happened to this community. It's disgusting to me, man.
Exactly. Hold on, I just want, before I go, I want to, the reason I bring this up, because is the one thing that I'm afraid of that has happened time and time again, and it's related to what you mentioned about the Charleston shooting with it wasn't a black thing, it was a Christian thing. All these people, all these anti-LGBT legislators that have been pushing these bills, that anti-gay bills, anti-trans bills, they're going to say, oh, it wasn't due to homophobia, it was due to Islam. So because of that, they're not going to be held accountable for their own actions against gay people. They're going to point to what they perceive as a bigger problem towards them, towards the gay people, towards the community in general, and that cannot happen. I understand we have to address this issue of how the LGBT community is addressed by countries on the other side of the planet. However, that cannot stop us from progress here. That cannot stop us from stopping the abuse here, and this whole thing is going to be a big red herring, and that's all I'm afraid of. So, if you're watching this, just please don't forget about the real community that has always been attacked, not just by words or not just by policies, but by fists, by being disowned, by violence, by mortal violence.
Yeah. Don't
forget them, please.
Thanks so much for that call, man. 857-600-. Guys, got to forgive me tonight. I picked up something around here. 857-600-0518. So, yeah, that's PJ actually hit on something that I actually had a conversation with one of my coworkers. The reason they are making this about Islam, notwithstanding the fact that this guy shouted Allahu Akbar and pledged his allegiance to, said he was a part of Hezbollah and, pledged his allegiance to ISIS at the same time, which is problematic. We'll discuss that. Notwithstanding the guy intentionally tried to show that this was a part of Islam. Right, we'll unpack that. But the reason the right and some other voices, not just the Republicans, but some other voices are running with this narrative about this being an attack on America and an attack not so much on the LGBTQ community. The reason for that is because that allows them to show and feign outrage as though they have some type of solidarity with the LGBTQ community, knowing good and damn well that they just over the last 6 months tried to pass over 200 pieces of anti-LGBTQ legislation. And so that they can save face and not look as though they are the bigots that they are, they do a sleight of hand and make this an outrage over Islam. Let's be outraged over Islam, but not really address the fact that it targets the LGBTQ community. And so that gives them the appropriate outrage that they have to feign in public without ever having to show the true solidarity with the LGBTQ community, because they have no solidarity whatsoever with the LGBTQ community, because they're doing everything they possibly can to block everything